All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're looking at a pretty bold thesis from a group called NeuroDelta, and they're not just trying to tweak healthcare. They're talking about completely rebuilding its data architecture from the ground up. Their foundation, a concept they call biological truth.
But before we get into the weeds, let's start with a really simple question for you. Why can't you, right now, pull up and audit your entire medical history? I mean, why is it scattered all over the place, locked in different systems, basically impossible to see in one piece? This, right here, is the core problem NeuroDelta is going after.
And that question, well, it leads us straight to the heart of the issue, what they call medicine's black box problem. And look, this isn't about blaming doctors. It's about the broken, opaque system they're all forced to operate in. So what exactly is black box medicine? Well, think of it this way. It's a system where the most critical decisions about your health are happening behind these closed proprietary walls. The data, the reasoning, the history, it's all locked away in a system that you, your doctor, and even other specialists can't fully see into or, more importantly, verify. This slide really breaks down why it's so broken. First, your data is trapped in what they call permissioned silos. Every hospital, every clinic, it's like its own little digital fortress, and they don't really talk to each other. Because of that, and this is a wild concept, patients are treated like guests in their own medical history. And for the providers, well, your data isn't an asset for better care, it's a legal liability they have to guard. It's completely backwards.
So how in the world do you fix a black box? Well, NeuroDelta's answer is you don't. You build something entirely new, from scratch. A system designed around this idea of biological truth, creating a totally new foundation for all of our healthcare data. Okay, this right here, this slide, is the absolute key to the whole thing. It's all about separating the data from the proof. Let me be super clear. Your sensitive medical data, your actual MRI scans, your lab results, your genomic sequences, that stuff never leaves the secure clinical environment. What gets created instead is a cryptographic proof. Think of it like a unique tamper-proof digital fingerprint of that medical event. And that fingerprint is what gets anchored to a global, unchangeable audit layer.
So where do they anchor this proof? This is the kicker. They use the Bitcoin blockchain purely as industrial infrastructure. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bitcoin? Isn't that money? But for this, it has absolutely nothing to do with currency or finance. It's about using the world's most secure, decentralized public ledger as a permanent, tamper-proof notary.
So let's just walk through it real quick. Step 1. A medical event happens. You get a scan, a lab result comes in, or you sign a consent form. Step 2. A unique cryptographic fingerprint of that event gets made. Step 3. That fingerprint, and only the fingerprint, is anchored to the Bitcoin network forever. And what's the result? A permanent, verifiable record that something happened at a specific time, a record that can never be changed or deleted. That, my friends, is what they call biological truth.
Now, an idea this huge, this audacious, it takes a very specific kind of team to pull it off. This isn't your typical tech startup. NeuroDelta refers to their core group as a strike team. And get this, the entire mission is being led by a super focused pilot cohort of just 35 people. This is all about elite specialized labor, not some giant bloated corporation, at least not to start. And when they say elite, they are not kidding. The team is just stacked. We're talking PhDs from the Mayo Clinic, top researchers from Duke, neuro AI specialists from Georgia Tech, and senior systems engineers who know how to build massive, reliable systems. It's this incredible fusion of deep clinical knowledge and hardcore engineering. But honestly, what I find most compelling is their core philosophy, which you see right here. In a tech world obsessed with move fast and break things, their whole mantra is different. It's a recognition that in medicine, you can't just break things. The stakes are infinitely higher. Responsibility is everything. Okay, so we've covered the what, the how, and the who. But what about the where and the when? Well, that brings us to what they call the Dayton focal point. And let's be absolutely crystal clear about this. This is not some theoretical white paper or a 5-year business plan. Execution is active right now. While the legacy healthcare models are stuck in endless committee meetings, the NeuroDelta team is on the ground actually building this thing. So why Dayton, Ohio? Well, it turns out it's this kind of perfect storm. You've got defense-grade engineering, a hub of clinical excellence, and that Silicon Prairie work ethic, a real get-it-done mentality. It's a place with a history of solving really hard, complex tech problems, and they believe it's the perfect environment to architect the future of healthcare. So, when you pull this all together, what's the fundamental shift we're looking at? It's really a profound change in philosophy. It's about moving away from a system that basically just asks you for blind faith to a new one that provides cold, hard mathematical proof.
This is the declaration, the mission statement at the very core of the NeuroDelta thesis. They are explicitly trying to end the era where patients, doctors, and researchers have no choice but to simply trust the black box. And this is the powerful conclusion. This is the new paradigm, replacing that blind trust with verifiable truth, giving everyone in the system, especially you, the power to independently confirm the integrity of the medical record.
So, we'll just end with this question to let you chew on. What actually changes? For medicine, for research, for your own care? What changes when the truth of your own biological history becomes something you can actually, provably verify for yourself?